It starts as a moment almost every cat owner knows. You glance over, and there's your cat, sitting perfectly still, eyes locked on a blank wall or an empty corner. Sometimes they hold that gaze for seconds, other times for minutes. If cats could earn a most mysterious behavior award, this stare might be top of the list. But what if I told you there's real science behind this, and it isn't them watching invisible ghosts or waiting for magic? Keep watching, because what you'll hear next might change how you see your feline entirely. Imagine for a moment that your cat's senses are like a high-definition video game, but your senses are the old, grainy version. Cats are wired very differently from us. Their eyes are built to capture movement, even in low-light conditions. In fact, because of a special layer behind their retina called the tapetum lucidum, cats can use almost every scrap of available light to see. They need as little as 1/6 of the light humans do to make sense of what's around them. It's like having night vision goggles in a world we see dimly. But vision isn't the whole story. A cat's hearing is almost like having a built-in sound radar. While humans can pick up sounds up to around 20,000 hertz, cats can hear sounds as high as 64,000 hertz or more. That's more than 3 times what we hear. That means your cat may sit still, eyes fixed on a blank space, because they just heard a tiny vibration in the wall, something so faint that you think nothing is happening. Some scientists believe that cats can detect high-pitched ultrasonic sounds made by insects or even rustling in pipes. Noises that take place beyond human hearing, but right in a cat's audio sweet spot. Close your eyes and picture a tiny insect skittering across the floor. You wouldn't hear it, and you might not see it at all. But for a cat, that moment is like watching a slow, dramatic scene unfold in HD. Their whiskers help too, acting almost like sensitive feelers that detect changes in air currents around the environment. This is all part of an advanced sensory toolkit honed by evolution. Because cats are not just pets, they're descendants of hunters whose survival depended on noticing the slightest hint of prey or danger. One of the most surprising things you learn about cats is how much memory and cognition they use. When your cat stares at a particular spot, it might not just be sensing something. It might remember that earlier that day, a sunbeam danced on that exact corner. Or maybe a tiny bug skittered past there where its paw couldn't quite reach. In other words, cats aren't just reacting. Their brains are actively processing information, just like ours do when we daydream or recall a favorite memory. Here's another twist you might not expect. Sometimes cats stare simply because they're thinking. Not about hunting, not about sound, but about something that happened moments earlier. Cats do possess a type of memory that allows them to replay experiences, in the same way a person might stop and smile, thinking about a good moment. Though, of course, we can't ask them what they're thinking. You probably also heard people joke that cats stare at nothing because they see spirits or have a sixth sense. While there's no scientific evidence that cats literally see ghosts, the illusion that they do can be explained very well by science. Cats pick up sights and sounds we literally cannot detect. They hear extreme high frequencies, sense air pressure changes with their whiskers, and even detect reflection patterns of UV light that are invisible to humans. So when your cat looks at a blank wall, it might be reacting to shifts in light or sound that you simply can't perceive. It's like watching a movie with high-definition vision while we're stuck with standard definition. Now, a quick reality check. Most of these staring moments are totally normal and harmless. But if you notice your cat staring blankly for long periods while also showing disorientation, frequent twitching, or changes in appetite and behavior, it might be worth a vet visit. Very long staring could in rare cases be associated with cognitive aging or neurological issues, especially in senior cats. That's important to remember, because understanding when staring is normal and when it's a signal of discomfort is part of knowing your cat well. And here's a fun thing that people sometimes overlook. Cats that stare at you and blink slowly aren't afraid or weird. They're trusting you. A slow blink from a cat is often interpreted by feline behaviorists as a sign of affection, a little like a human smile. It's their way of saying, I feel safe with you. So next time your cat stares at what looks like nothing, think of it like this. They aren't zoning out or watching invisible beings. They are actively engaging with a layer of reality you don't have access to. They're listening to sounds beyond your ears, watching movements beyond your vision, processing memories beyond your awareness, and feeling environments like tiny atmospheric shifts in a breeze, all with the same calm intensity that makes them such captivating companions. If you've ever wondered why your cat does the strange, beautiful, or baffling things they do, you're not alone. Cat behavior blends biology, evolution, and rich sensory perception in ways that are still being unraveled by researchers. And the truth, as weird, wonderful, or fascinating as it may be, is grounded in real science that shows cats are far more perceptive than we give them credit for. Before we wrap up, let me leave you with a question. Have you ever noticed patterns in when your cat stares? Maybe at a certain time of day, after a sound upstairs, or just before they stretch and walk away. Drop your experience in the comments. I'd love to see what patterns other cat lovers have noticed. And if you found this info interesting, hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because next, we'll explore another one of your cat's curious behaviors and what it really means. See you in the next video.